The heavy metal doors of the Villari battleship opened with a hiss. A young human stepped inside, wearing a clean space uniform and carrying a small bag. His name was Tom. Around him, tall alien soldiers with silver skin and sharp eyes stared. They were Villari, known across the galaxy as the best warriors and sharpshooters. They moved with perfect discipline and stood like statues. Tom felt every eye on him. At the front stood Commander Zara, the leader of the strike team. She had blue armor shining under the lights. Her arms were crossed, and her eyes were hard like stone. "So, this is the human rookie," Zara said, her voice cold. Tom stood straight. "Yes, Commander." Zara walked up to him, looking him up and down. "You know why humans are not in our strike teams?" Tom didn't answer. "Because humans miss. They shoot wild. They act slow. They are soft," Zara said. The Villari soldiers around her gave small laughs. Tom stayed silent. His face didn't change. Zara pointed toward the docking bay. "You'll be on lookout duty. Stay out of our way." "Yes, Commander," Tom replied. The first mission came quickly. A pirate base in deep space had attacked a trade ship. The Villari strike team was sent to handle it. Tom was placed on a high platform to watch for danger. He was given a long-range scanner. The Villari soldiers moved like a sharp knife, entering the base without fear. Zara led them, taking down enemies with quick shots. Tom watched from above. His eyes moved across the scanner, but nothing seemed unusual. Then, a warning beep from the shadows. A fast drone zipped towards Zara's team. It carried a high explosive charge. The Villari didn't see it. Tom dropped the scanner and raised his standard Disher rifle. The drone darted left and right, moving too fast for a normal shot. He took a breath. One pull of the trigger. The bullet hit the drone's engine. It exploded in a flash of light. Below, the Villari soldiers turned around in shock. Zara looked up at Tom. "You?" she asked, narrowing her eyes. Tom gave a small nod. "HMPH, lucky shot," Zara said. She turned back to her team. "But one of..." The younger Villari whispered. "No one's that lucky." The mission ended fast after that. The pirates surrendered, and the Villari returned to their ship. In the common room, the soldiers gathered around Zara, talking about the fight. Tom sat alone at the corner, cleaning his rifle. One soldier, named Rove, spoke up. "Maybe the humans. Not bad with a gun." Zara shook her head. "Luck, that's all. Humans can't shoot straight." He proved nothing. Tom didn't look up. He finished cleaning his rifle and set it aside. The next day, the team prepared for a new mission. Guarding a cargo convoy in dangerous space, pirates were known to attack these routes. Tom was again given lookout duty at the rear. The convoy moved slowly between asteroid fields. Hours passed. Nothing happened. Then, alarms screamed. A missile streaked from a hidden pirate ship straight toward the convoy's lead transport. Zara shouted, "All gunners, take it down." Villari sharpshooters fired. Laser shots lit up space. But the missile twisted and dodged like a snake. Shot after shot missed. Zara cursed under her breath. From the back, Tom raised his rifle, a normal human sniper rifle. Not even built for space battle. He didn't rush. He adjusted his scope, tracked the missile's pattern, and fired a single bullet. It struck the missile dead center. A bright explosion filled the sky. The convoy was safe. Zara turned slowly, eyes wide. The Villari soldiers stared at Tom. Tom gave a soft smile and said nothing. That night, Zara called a meeting. She stood before her team. "I don't know how, but the human made the shot," the soldiers murmured. Rove said, "Maybe humans can shoot after all." Zara frowned. "Don't forget, one good shot doesn't make a soldier." She looked at Tom. "We'll see if you can do it again." Tom nodded once. "Yes, Commander." But inside, Zara felt something new. A small spark of respect. The Villari battleship glided through the dark space, its engine silent but powerful. Inside the command room, Commander Zara stood with arms crossed, looking at the mission screen. Beside her stood her strike team, tall Villari soldiers in silver armor. And behind them, standing quietly, was the human sniper. "Tom, Their mission this time was important. A trade convoy carrying medical supplies had called for help. Pirates with advanced weapons had attacked them. The Villari team was ordered to protect the convoy. Zara glanced at Tom from the corner of her eye. He stood still, holding his rifle, face calm as always. "I want no mistakes," Zara said sharply. "These pirates use speed missiles, fast and tricky. If one hits, the convoy is finished." The soldiers nodded. Tom gave a quiet, "Yes, Commander." The convoy entered a wide-open space zone. Villari ships formed a protective ring around the slow-moving cargo ships. Zara's strike team took positions on the outer defense line. Hours passed. The space around them remained quiet. Too quiet. Zara's eyes stayed sharp. She knew pirates liked to attack when guards became relaxed. Then it happened. A warning blared on the control panel. "Missile launch detected." The ship's AI announced. On the screen, a small but deadly missile appeared, moving fast toward the lead cargo ship. Zara barked, "All sharpshooters, take it down." Villari gunners opened fire. Bright laser beams sliced through space, but the missile danced between the shots, twisting and turning. Zara clenched her fists. The missile was too fast, too clever. It would reach the convoy in seconds. "Keep firing." Zara ordered. The lasers kept missing. Then a calm voice said, "Permission to engage?" Zara turned her head. It was Tom. He stood at the back, rifle ready. Zara gave a quick nod. "Take the shot." Tom didn't hurry. He stepped forward, eyes locked on the target. His rifle wasn't made for space battles. It didn't have advanced targeting. He knelt down, adjusted the scope, and fired. One shot. A second later, the missile exploded in a bright flash. Silence filled the command room. Villari soldiers stared at the screen, unable to believe what they saw. Zara blinked. Her heart pounded. Tom stood up, lowered his rifle, and gave a soft smile. Zara opened her mouth, then closed it. She couldn't find the right words. Finally, she said, "Nice shot, human." Some soldiers gave soft nods. Even Rove, who always followed Zara's words, whispered, "That wasn't luck." Tom said nothing. He cleaned his rifle and moved back to his post. The convoy reached safety. The mission was a success, but inside the Villari camp, something strange happened. For the first time, the Villari soldiers talked about the human, not as a joke, but with curiosity. "How did he do it?" One said, "His rifle isn't even special." Said another, "Was it training, instinct?" Rove asked. Zara heard them all, but she didn't join in. She watched Tom from a distance. He was sitting alone again, fixing his rifle. Calm, silent, focused. Zara walked over. She stood beside him and crossed her arms. "You didn't even flinch. Why?" Tom looked up. His answer was simple. "I aim. I shoot. I trust my skill." Zara stared at him for a moment. "And if you miss?" Tom smiled lightly. "Then I learn." Zara tilted her head. This human was different. He wasn't loud. He wasn't proud. But his shots hit when it mattered most. "Tomorrow," Zara said, "we go on a rescue mission. Ice Moon. Hard ground. Tough shots." Tom nodded. "Understood." Zara gave him a long look. "Prove to me it's not luck." Tom gave a soft reply. "I don't believe in luck." Zara smirked. "Just a little. We'll see." That night, news of Tom's impossible shot traveled fast across the ship. Soldiers whispered his name. In the halls, some said humans had hidden talents. Others still called it luck. But everyone, even Zara, felt something new. Respect. And far away, deep in space, pirates were listening to. The legend of the human sniper had begun. The cold winds of the ice moon howled like angry spirits. Sharp ice cliffs rose from the ground, their edges glowing under the pale light of the twin suns. It was a place where even the bravest warriors walked with care. Commander Zara stood at the edge of a frozen ridge, staring down at a narrow valley below. Her team of Villari soldiers moved behind her, weapons ready. Beside them stood Tom, the human sniper. His rifle hung across his back, and his boots crunched softly on the ice. Their mission was clear: rescue a scientist kidnapped by pirates hiding in the ice caves. The scientist carried secrets that many enemies wanted, But the ice moon was no simple battleground. The ground was slippery, and sudden ice storms could blind even the best fighters. Zara gave quick hand signals. The team moved forward carefully, their sharp boots gripping the ice. Tom followed at the end of the line, his eyes scanning the cliffs. As they moved deeper into the valley, thick fog started rising. The wind grew stronger. Zara spoke through the comlink. Stay sharp. The enemy could be anywhere. They walked in silence until a loud crack echoed. A giant ice beast leaped from behind a rock. It had thick white skin, 6 legs, and eyes like burning coals. Its sharp claws struck the ground as it charged straight at Zara. The Villari soldiers reacted fast, raising their weapons. But on the slippery ice, 2 soldiers slipped and fell. The shots they fired missed the beast completely. Zara raised her gun, but the ice beast was already too close. Tom didn't shout. He didn't panic. He moved sideways, placed one knee on the ground, and fired. The bullet struck the beast's eye. The creature roared and dropped, sliding to a stop right in front of Zara. Zara stepped back in shock. The Villari soldiers stared at the beast, then at Tom. Tom stood up, calmly reloading his rifle. Hostile neutralized, he said. Zara looked at him with new eyes. This wasn't luck. This was skill. Good shot, again, she said. Tom gave a soft nod. Thank you, Commander. They moved on, inside the ice caves. Shadows danced on the walls. The cold was bitter, cutting through armor and skin. The pirates had left traps, thin ice floors ready to crack, sharp icicles placed to fall, and tripwires hidden under snow. Twice, Villari soldiers slipped. Once, a soldier nearly fell into a deep crack in the ice. Tom moved ahead of the group, eyes sharp as a hunter. Trap ahead, he warned softly, pointing at a thin wire across the path. Zara watched as Tom carefully disarmed the trap with steady hands. How do you spot these things? Zara asked. Tom gave a small smile. I look. They pressed forward, finally. They reached a large open cave. At the center, the kidnapped scientist sat tied to a pole. Around him stood 5 pirates, armed and ready. The Villari soldiers took positions, blending with the ice walls. Zara gave hand signals, attack on her mark. But before she could move, the pirates lifted their guns toward the scientist. Don't move, or he's gone, shouted the pirate leader. The Villari froze. The scientist's life hung by a thread. Zara clenched her jaw. The wrong move, and the mission would fail. Then Tom stepped forward quietly. I'll take the shot, he said. Zara looked at him, too. Risky. One wrong move. Tom met her eyes. I won't miss. For a moment, Zara stared at him. Then she gave a single nod. Tom lay flat on the ice, rifle aimed. His breathing slowed. His hands were steady. He aimed for the pirate leader, the one holding a blaster near the scientist's head. One heartbeat, 2. He fired. The bullet hit the pirate's hand, knocking the blaster away. Before the other pirates could react, Zara and her team charged in seconds. The fight was over. The pirates were down. The scientist safe. Zara helped the scientist to his feet. You're safe now. The scientist looked at her, then at Tom. Is that a human? Zara gave a rare smile. Yes, he is. As they left the ice cave, the wind outside had slowed. The sun shone gently on the frozen land. On the way back to the ship, Zara walked beside Tom. You saved me today, she said quietly, and you saved the mission. Tom didn't brag. He simply replied, We're a team. Zara nodded. Yes, the team, from that day. Zara started seeing Tom not as a weak human, but as a true soldier. A soft blue glow filled the space around the Villari battleship. As it entered the dense Nebula 9 field, clouds of gas swirled like living shadows, wrapping the ship in a thick fog. Commander Zara stood on the bridge, staring at the large view screen. The swirling mist outside made sensors useless. Behind her, the Villari soldiers waited at their stations, and near the back stood Tom, calm as always, his sniper rifle slung across his back. Zara spoke into her calm, Stay alert. Pirates have been hiding in this nebula for weeks. If they ambush us here, we'll be fighting blind. The Villari nodded. They trusted their commander. But they also knew this mission was dangerous. The battleship moved slowly, cutting through the thick fog. The only sound inside was the soft hum of the engines. Tom stood by the side screen, watching the shadows shift outside. He didn't trust the silence, and he was right. Without warning, 3 pirate ships shot out of the nebula mist, their engines roaring. Ambush, Zara shouted. The pirates opened fire. Red laser blasts slammed against the battleship's shields. The Villari gunners fired back, but the nebula gas twisted the laser beams. The shots missed or faded before hitting the targets. Zara's voice stayed sharp. All units, stay in formation. But the pirates moved fast, using the fog as cover. They circled the battleship like sharks around prey. Tom narrowed his eyes. He watched the pirate ships dance through the clouds, disappearing and reappearing. Zara pointed toward the enemy leader's ship. If we take out that one, the others will fall back. But the pirate leader's ship moved with strange speed, vanishing into the mist before any shot could reach it. One Villari gunner growled, "We can't lock on. The sensors are useless." Tom stepped forward. "I can hit it." Zara turned to him. "You can't see it." Tom adjusted his rifle's scope. "I don't need sensors. I'll shoot by pattern." Zara stared at him. The enemy ship was a blur. In the fog, moving in and out like a ghost. "You have one chance," she said. Tom nodded. He dropped to one knee, setting his rifle on the deck rail. He watched the ship's faint shadow flicker through the gas. The ship moved left, right, left again. Tom aimed ahead of its next move. He fired. A sharp flash. The bullet tore through the mist. On the main screen, the pirate leader's ship jerked as smoke poured from its engine. The enemy's formation broke. Zara gave a sharp command. "All ships, attack now." The Villari fired in perfect timing, with their leader's ship damaged. The pirates panicked. Within minutes, the pirates turned and fled into the nebula, leaving the Villari victorious. On the bridge, Zara looked at Tom. "You shot through a gas cloud." Blind, Tom stood up, calm. "I aim by feeling." One of the Villari whispered, "That's impossible." Zara smirked slightly. Not for him, as the crew repaired the minor damage. Whispers filled the ship's halls. The human hit a ship he couldn't see. Is he even human? Maybe we've been wrong about them all along. But Tom stayed the same. He cleaned his rifle, checked his gear, and spoke little. That evening, Zara called Tom to the observation deck. They stood side by side, watching the nebula's glowing clouds. Zara spoke first. "Most Villari would have waited for orders. You took the shot on instinct." Tom answered quietly. "I trust my eyes, and when I can't, I trust my gut." Zara nodded slowly. "You're unlike any human I've met." Tom gave a soft smile. "I get that a lot." Zara chuckled, a sound rare for her. "You've earned a place on this team." Tom glanced at her. "I thought I already had it." Zara met his eyes. "Now, it's official." From that day, the Villari soldiers stopped calling him Rookie or Lucky Shot. They called him Sniper Tom, a human who could hit anything. But none of them knew. The real test was still waiting. The Villari strike team had docked at Rift Station, a massive space outpost built near a swirling space rift. The station was a critical trade hub, and its safety was vital to many worlds. Commander Zara stood on the station's command deck, looking worried. Pirates and mercenaries had been attacking Rift Station for weeks, using cloaked ships to sneak past defenses. Cloaked ships can't be seen on sensors. Zara said grimly, "Our weapons can't lock onto them. If we don't stop them, the station will fall." The Villari soldiers prepared for battle. The usual confidence in their eyes was replaced by concern. Tom, the human sniper, stood calmly beside them. His rifle was ready. The first attack came without warning. Invisible ships darted around the station, firing plasma bolts that tore through the shields. Villari gunners scrambled to find targets, but sensors showed nothing. Shots fired blindly into space missed every time. "Keep your eyes open," Zara ordered. Tom studied the patterns of the attacks carefully, though the ships were invisible. Their plasma shots left faint trails, bright streaks glowing for a moment in space. Tom spoke quietly to Zara. "I think I can shoot them. I can guess their positions." Zara looked at him. "You want to shoot at nothing." Tom smiled lightly. I want to shoot at where they will be. Zara gave a small nod. You have one chance. Tom took his place on the observation deck, overlooking the rift. The glowing whirlpool of space stretched below, casting an eerie light. He raised his rifle, adjusting his scope to the glowing plasma trails. The cloaked ships moved fast and unpredictable. But Tom's eyes tracked their paths. One ship appeared. Near the edge of the rift, just for a moment, Tom aimed ahead of it. He fired. The bullet flew straight and true, striking the invisible ship. A bright explosion lit up the darkness. The other cloaked ships stopped, confused by their leaders. Sudden destruction. Zara's voice rang out. Open fire. The Villari gunners took their chance, firing laser beams guided by Tom's shots. One by one, the cloaked ships were hit, exploding in bursts of light. The battle ended with the mercenaries retreating in defeat. In the quiet that followed, the soldiers gathered around Tom. How did you do it? Rove asked, amazed. Tom shrugged. I watched, I waited, I aimed. Zara smiled at Tom, pride in her eyes. You turned the impossible into possible. The soldiers cheered softly. But Tom stayed humble. We all fight together. That night, the team celebrated their victory. Zara raised a glass to the human sniper, who sees what others cannot. Tom raised his glass with a quiet smile. The victory at Rift Station was a turning point. The Villari now saw humans as more than luck or mistakes. They saw them as valuable warriors. And Tom's legend grew stronger. But deep in the shadows, new dangers were forming. Enemies who heard of Tom's shots would come ready for the next fight. The space station hovered silently above the blue-green planet of Ardina. Below, peaceful cities stretched across vast lands. This was a colony known for its science and art. But now it faced danger. The warning came fast. A missile, launched by unknown enemies, raced toward Ardina. If it hit, the damage would be catastrophic. Inside the command room, Commander Zara and her strike team watched the missile on the tracking screen. The missile moved fast, and no ship could catch it. We must stop it before it reaches the atmosphere, Zara said, voice steady but tense. The Villari snipers shook their heads. It is impossible to shoot from orbit. The speed and distance are too great. But Tom, the human sniper, stepped forward calmly. I will try. Zara raised an eyebrow. You? From this distance? Tom nodded. I've made impossible shots before. Let me try this one. Zara studied him. The team was out of options. Very well. You have one chance. The observation deck opened to the cold of space. Tom stepped out, rifle in hand. The stars stretched endlessly around him and below. The missile glowed like a fireball against the dark planet. He settled into position, steadying his breathing. The rifle scope showed the missile's heat signature as a small moving dot. Focus, Tom told himself. Calculate speed, angle, distance. Seconds passed like hours. The missile grew larger on the screen as it approached. Tom adjusted the scope, tracking its flight path. His finger hovered over the trigger. Now, he whispered. He fired. The bullet sped through space, chasing the missile. The missile exploded far above the planet's surface, a bright fireball lighting the dark sky. Inside the command room, cheers erupted. Zara smiled wide, eyes shining. You did it. You saved Ardina. Tom turned, a small smile playing on his lips. He gave Zara a slow wink. The soldiers clapped and cheered. Tom felt the weight of their respect. Later, Zara walked with Tom through the station halls. Your shot was more than skill. It was hope. Tom looked at the stars outside. Sometimes, hope is all we have. Zara nodded. You've changed how the galaxy sees humans. Tom laughed softly. Maybe we were just waiting for a chance to prove ourselves. The mission success spread quickly across the fleet. Stories of the human sniper who could shoot a missile from orbit became legend. But with fame came new challenges. Enemies would test Tom again. Zara and Tom prepared for the future, knowing that the galaxy's fate might one day rest on a single shot. The stars glittered like distant diamonds as the Villari battleship cruised through deep space. On the command deck, Commander Zara stood tall, her blue armor catching the soft light. Beside her was Tom, the human sniper whose name had become known across many systems. News had spread far and wide about the human who had shot down a missile from orbit. Many still whispered in disbelief, but few doubted Tom's skill anymore. The Villari soldiers respected him, and more importantly, Zara trusted him as her closest partner. "Another mission is coming," Zara said quietly, her eyes fixed on the starfield beyond the VIEWPORT. Tom smiled lightly. "I'm ready." This mission was different. A new threat had appeared near a distant mining colony, a powerful warship that had destroyed several defenders. The Villari fleet was tasked with stopping it before it could attack the innocent colonists. As the battleship approached the danger zone, the tension on board grew. The warship was heavily armed and shielded, and the battle would be difficult. Zara called the team to the briefing room. "We have one chance to stop the ship before it reaches the colony," she said. "Tom, we need your shot again." Tom nodded. "Where do I shoot?" Zara showed the image of the warship. Its engine core is exposed briefly during weapon charging. "If you can hit it there, we can disable the ship." The room fell silent. All eyes were on Tom. "It's a small window," he said, "but I can do it." The battle began with the Villari ships attacking the enemy warship from all sides. The enemy returned fire, laser beams and missiles lighting up the darkness. Tom took his place on the observation deck. The warship's silhouette was clear against the stars. He watched the engine core pulse as it prepared to fire. His heart beat steady. This was the moment. As the core glowed brighter, the ship powered its weapons. Tom aimed ahead, calculating the moving target. He fired. The bullet traveled through space. A small bright streak against the dark void. It struck the engine core perfectly. The warship shuddered and sparks flew. Its weapons went dark. Zara gave the order. "All ships, charge!" The Villari fleet closed in, overpowering the enemy ship. When the battle ended, cheers erupted on the battleship. Zara turned to Tom, her eyes shining with pride. "You did it again. You saved lives today." Tom smiled humbly. "We all did." Later, as the fleet moved away from the battlefield, Zara stood beside Tom on the observation deck. "Your shot has become legend," she said softly. Tom looked out at the stars. "It's not about me. It's about proving what humans can do." Zara nodded. "You changed how the galaxy sees humans. They no longer see weakness, but strength." Tom smiled. "Maybe humans always had it. We just needed a chance." Zara placed a hand on his shoulder. "And you took that chance. You made us all better." As the battleship sailed through the quiet of space, Tom and Zara looked forward to new missions, new challenges. Together, they knew the galaxy's future might rest on a single shot, and Tom was ready.